The station that speaks your mind. No filters, no fakes, just pure fire with top-tier presenters. Hot FM at 20.
The heat is on.
Welcome to Zambia's hottest radio talk show, The Hot Seat, exclusive to Hot FM 87.7.
It's a lovely Thursday morning and welcome to Thursday's edition of The Hot Seat. I'm your host. My name is Peter Zulu, and this morning we're featuring Muntu Party President, Mr. Stephen Nyirenda joins us in studio this morning. We're live on multiple platforms. We're live on Kwitu FM on 93.3 FM here in Lusaka and surrounding areas. We're live in Eastern Province in Lundazi to be specific on Kanela FM on 97.7 FM. We are live on our Facebook page, Hot FM Zambia, to follow the proceedings there. We are live on Radio Garden, the TuneIn app, and the Radio Box. Search for Hot FM Zambia and follow proceedings there as well. At this point in time, allow me to welcome my guest to the show, Mr. Nyirenda. Good morning and welcome to the Hot Seat.
Good morning. Thank you so much for calling me, for being here for the second time. Mm-hmm. I'm so pleased and humbled. But before I go any further, let me again remind everyone who is listening outside there about the funeral that we're having, and the body is arriving in the next few minutes actually at the international airport. Please let's mourn Our Lady, who was very powerful, and we will keep reminding her. Thank you.
All right. I would like us to continue on that trajectory, Mr. Nyirenda, regarding the late FDD leader, Madam Edith Nawakwi. How would you remember her? What's her legacy from your eyes?
She was a very powerful woman. Well, when she was a minister, I wasn't in the country, but when I came, I joined politics. We exchanged a lot of information. We were basically friends, and I remember, each time she would go on a platform like this one or on TV, whatever she spat out, it was very well researched, very spoken from somebody who has got experience, somebody who knew what she was speaking about. She was just something else.
How will you remember her?
I remember her as somebody who was very, very powerful, who would have changed actually the politics of this country. And also somebody who basically took the mantle for the ladies and pushed it up there. She pushed the bar up there to make sure that the ladies in this country emulate her and do the right thing in this country. But anyway, I don't want to speak about who is following, but please, let the ladies outside there emulate her. I remember her, that she was a very powerful lady.
Okay. May her soul rest in peace. Mr. Nyirenda, we have a very significant amount of time to have a conversation regarding a lot of things that are going on in the country, and obviously regarding your party, Muntu Party. I'd like us to start on the constitutional amendments, which is something that's very topical now. What are your views on the proposed constitutional amendments, and how do you think they will impact Zambia's governance structure?
Yes. To start with, exactly see what we're talking about. We have diverted ourselves. We have moved from the actual things, the burning issues, to something that is an important, something that is basically not shouldn't be discussed now. And this is exactly what HH and his people wanted to do, to make sure that the people shift from actually the hunger, the poverty, the high cost of living, shift from talking about it, they shift and start talking about constitutional changes they want to do. Everything that is in there, whether it's good or it's not good, it is misplaced. It shouldn't be. It should be thrown out. I was speaking somewhere else. I said, look, for me it reminds as if HH and UPND, they were scholars of PF and MMD, sitting there listening to the mistakes what PF was making and so on, and used them. And this is what they are now. The same mistakes which were being made by PF, they are being made by him. He's following the footsteps, as you can see. These changes, they shouldn't basically be tackled.
None of the proposals to you are progressive. None of it is going to be beneficial to the country. Is that what you're saying?
First of all, what I've said, how we can pick one by one. How do you want to say if we change this, we'll allow more ladies and more youth to be in parliament? That is a policy of a political party. If you want to say, okay, the CDF can be distributed better if we change the sizes of the constituencies. It just makes me, these guys don't think. And if really we are talking about somebody who is intellectually high, an economist, who wants to tell CDF to how big the constituency is, I started asking myself, said, look, I don't know whether really we go to school to do the things properly that people can live better, or we go to school for academic, just academic. If I want to tell a CDF to the people, I can do proportionally. If this constituency has got 20,000 people, another one has got 10,000 people, I can do proportion. You are going to give you according to the proportion of the people. I don't need to go and start cutting to make it smaller, unless really I want it to benefit myself. What it is, the whole of this thing that these guys are doing right up now, because they want to benefit. In fact, perhaps HH has already seen that he's losing it, that he's not going to have the majority. So he would want to cut, and perhaps cut more from those areas where he thinks he's got a stronghold, which he doesn't have even anymore. Even there, that what he calls stronghold is no stronghold. If the people tell him the truth, the man is gone. Then we go further. He wants really to change other things, basically, that have got no here nor there, that are no here nor there. For me, truly speaking, that's why I'm saying this is not a topic where we should spend a lot of time now. It's exactly what these HH and UPND want to achieve, to say we stop talking about the cost of living, we stop talking about the energy crisis.
So for you, it's just a distraction from
yes,
the Zambian people.
It is just like, truly speaking, we want to change, to go even and start printing money now when we don't even have money to feed our people. We don't have money for food. All these things, misplaced priorities.
When would you say is the right time to have constitutional amendment, or this conversation to do with constitutional
amendment? If he wants immediate...
let me rephrase that. Does our constitution need amending in its current state?
Right up now, that's not an issue. It may. It would be wrong for me to say, look, we completely don't need. There are certain things there, I think they may need to be changed. But this isn't the wrong time. This is not the time to talk about.
When is the right time? Because we've had this in the past. I'll give you examples, Mr. Nyirenda. In the past, where a constitution has been signed, sometimes most Zambians will say, no, this is not the right time. You're just getting into government. You can't start talking about constitutional amendments. Other times when it's done, no, it's being done too late. It's close to an election. When is the right time to have a constitutional amendment done?
If he wants to do it, let him do it immediately after he wins or two. If he is good enough, let's meet in the ring. We see who is going to win. When he wins, it's his second term. He can bring it. He can bring it up. But not now. Not now we are going into elections. No, not at all.
We got a roadmap for the constitutional amendments. At the end of the day, it's going to, we have a roadmap of how these things will play out. At least government, from the roadmap that was given, they expected to happen within 4 months. How does your party plan to engage citizens in the constitutional amendment process to ensure their voices are heard?
Well, we have seen these things before. You can do referendum. You can send people outside to gather information from the people and listen to the people. And this is, again, where I would go back to say HH doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to the people. He thinks he knows it all. Because if he listens to the people, the majority of the people now are saying no, not now. Now, if he listens to people, he should drop it. And we urge him to drop it.
Okay. What specific changes would you like to see in the Constitution to address pressing issues like the cost of living, which you earlier alluded to, and economic development?
You see, That's first of all, if we go that route, then get the experts and sit down, and those experts will give him certain things that are needed, not the way they did it. Not you don't just stand up to say nobody has read this document. You saw that clip. Nobody has read this document. So who did that document if nobody has read it? Anyway, let's go back to these pressing issues, how to address them. Let's look, for me, first of all, I would say, gentlemen, there was the national budget last year, before last year, and there's another one coming. Do we really reflect to say this is what you said in the budget, this is what you did, this is the development? Let me go there, because that's where the cost of living is coming from. That's why we are suffering, because these guys, they make a budget and tell us, I'm going to do these things. And once I do these things, you are going to be better. Now, let's look at the budget. 2024, 2025. What is inside there? You can laugh. You make a budget, like the current budget, 217 billion. Look at it. Where do you get the money that you want to push it into this budget? If you analyze it very well, what they did in the 2024, which was 117 billion in 2024, how have they fared? Did they do the right things? If you check the income that we are talking about, it's about 80% from taxes from you. How do they tax you? You don't have, you are suffering. They want to squeeze more. The income from 80%. Now, Zambia being basically one of the champions in minerals in Africa, the richest, one of the richest in land, how much land we have. There is only about the 330 million that we collected. If I calculate percentage-wise, 4 to 5% income from the total budget. That is a joke, and that's where we are having problems. If you go further, agriculture itself, where massive land, where we are supposed to have income coming from agriculture sector, it's zero, in minus. I can go even further to tourism. Those are areas of revenue. It's zero. Zero. Tourism is zero. But then you go, and when they came to power, the first thing that they did, these guys, they said, we are going to scrap off visa requirements.
When you say zero, what do you mean, Mr. Nyirenda? Are you saying we're getting zero taxes or zero incomes from these particular sectors that you highlighted?
Yes. I will tell you, we are not getting anything from agriculture. You can check. It's there. That's why I'm saying, we guys, we Zambians, either politicians, leaders, or whatever, let's analyze the things that are happening in this country and you see where the problem is coming from. You make a budget, then you go and make another budget. You make another budget for what? For intellect basis and things like that. That budget that they made in 2024, when you look at it, you can laugh about it. The 2025 budget, you can also laugh about it.
All right. So the Ministry of Tourism put up, their performance chart for last year, of which they achieved most of their targets, even exceeded them, and showed that we had more tourist visits than we did the previous year.
Okay, let me say, then it should have reflected. They predicted that 2 million people visiting Zambia in 2023-2024. This there, they told us they did 200 million. Now, the money that they made here in their income is only $900,000, 26 million kwacha. Now, turn the table around. If I asked those guys to get visas, which is $100, $100 times 2 million, I was going to make about 200 million, right? You will throw that into the toilet and you come and you say, okay, let me have 900,000 kwacha. It's a joke. It is really a joke for a country like Zambia to get only 26 million as income from the touristic sector.
But it's also wrong for you to say they got zero. They did get something out of it.
They themselves, go and check there. When you round up percentage-wise is 0.001. The 26 million rounded compared to 117 billion. It's nothing.
My question to you was, would we have gotten the same level or the same number of visitors if we did not waive those visa fees?
Well, even if it went down, I can calculate 50% downwards. They said 2 million. I will calculate with only 1 million. If I got 1 million visitors coming times $100, it was still going to give me 100 million versus to the nearest 1 million. It doesn't make sense. So I start asking these guys, are they really there to save the Zambian people? No, they are not. They are there to save themselves and sit there and this is why I was telling somebody else. I said, our leader, HH himself, he's not a businessman. If he was a businessman, he would check the income and expenditure. Simple commerce, which everybody did in primary school. The expenditure and the income, they need to tally at least 0. You can't be spending money that you have. I can show you the table to say, look, you want to give CDF so much money. Now they have been brought at cash for work. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, cash for work, because it doesn't give the people the future. They have brought CDF, cash for money, FISIP.
Well, cash for work is a program that was brought about because of the drought that we had last year.
It's happening now.
Yeah,
yes.
Because it's a drought remedy.
I don't think so. It's not a drought remedy.
That's why it was brought on the table. It was brought in as a remedy for people because we're going through a drought.
Yes, but look.
You don't think it's achieving what it was supposed to achieve?
No, it's not. And I don't think it's the right thing to do. If you want to give people money relief, give them relief. There was another way they could have done. Give them relief in the cost of living. If you go into shops right up now, prices are going up and up. Why? Because the actual things that are not tackled. And the actual things that are not tackled. If you want to talk about economy, you are talking about, basically, they said distribution of goods and services, right? Mm-hmm. And their production, distribution of goods and services. Now, if your production cost is high, your distribution is high, you can take cash for money and give these people. It will not help you because the basic things are pushed up. And that's why we should look at. And then when you are looking at these things, you have to look at the solutions. Are these the solutions? Is giving 20% your NAPSA solution? Is giving a CDF to push it up, which you don't have a solution, and you can't even manage it. It doesn't work like that. A businessman will calculate, and a businessman is also a leader. You start from there. You see how it is. But anyway, I forgive them. I forgive them because they enter the house, they don't know what is inside their house, and they are not even able to want to learn.
Let's look at
all these 4 years that they have is job on training. And job on training, what we call now, chipante-pante.
Aren't you in the same shoes, Mr. Nyirenda?
No, I'm not.
You've never served in government, and you're aspiring for the top job.
No, I have served.
I
have served in the government background. I want to tell you to say, I started basically as I was in Germany. I worked with Chiluba. There's a lot of things that I did. I came here. I would come here, meet President Chiluba. May his soul rest in peace, do and so on and so on. Even the presidents after, even the Long who left, there are quite a few things that I put forward. This stuff that you are calling digital migration that you gave to these Chinese, I actually worked hand in hand with the government. But nevertheless,
working with government or in government doesn't give you experience at presidential level, Mr. Nyirenda, and that's what you're putting out there.
No. When you are working with them, we are in a committee with them and so on and so on. I don't want to mention those things.
You brought the issue of experience. That's why I'm putting it on the table to say you've never been president. So you're also
I have been in committee.
It will be equal to you it will be fair for us to also say, will you be doing job on training if we put you in office?
No, let me answer you. Number one, I've been in committees with the president. Number one. And from those committees, there are quite a lot of things that are learned. Put it aside. Number two, we are saying ourselves, when we take over, I said it last time I was here.
Yes.
When we take over, that transition period is very important. You cannot just move out of the house and somebody goes in, you don't even know. Just imagine, you may have a maid and you are not cooking and think that maid goes away. The day that you are going there, you want to make tea, you will not even find where the cup of tea is. Similarly, we are saying when actually presidents are changing, there must be a proper transition period so that the president can be shown and even be taught. They need to be inducted in there. The people, they will take him in different areas. It's not happening here. Here, you want to win now. Within the same minute, you want to kick the others and you don't want even to talk to them. You think you know it all. These are the problems. And that's why we're saying, me, when I take over, I will be taught. I will spend 3 months being taught what is happening there. And so on and so on. It's not happening. You saw what is happening. The man was kicked like you are kicking a dog out of the house. And you take over. You don't know what to do. What happens next? UPND has been doing the same stuff.
Are you right by saying that, Mr. Nyirenda, that the previous president was kicked out like a dog?
What?
Are you saying, is that true that the previous president was kicked out like a dog?
I was in the showgrounds there when he was you know what I'm talking about. Everybody saw. He was not given the respect that he was supposed to be given.
Was it by the current president or the crowd? Let's differentiate things here. There was a ceremony in the handover, and we saw what happened. I hope we're talking about the same incident here. Are you talking about the handover ceremony at the National Hero Stadium?
Basically, I can tell you about everything.
Okay.
We have a tendency here that when the other president comes in, you want to treat the other president as if he was a thief, as if he didn't do anything. You want to treat the other president as if he was the worst devil before. It shouldn't be like that.
No, you were talking about the transition period.
Yes,
but now you're talking about something different, which is the treatment that you got after.
It's same. The transition period was not there anyway. There wasn't. When it was happening in the showgrounds, believe you me, the way he was treated there, that's not the way you treat former presidents.
But I want you to be very specific when you say that. When you talk about the showgrounds or you talk about the Hero Stadium. Who mistreated him there? Because we saw the crowds that were booing him. Was he mistreated in any way at the function in how things were done?
It's how the moderator, the main person should have handled it. And the main person, the moderator there, is the president. The president should have handled it in a different format. Everything was going to be okay. You saw that there was no harmony. You saw that there was no respect for him. You saw that it's like, get out. I mean, you can read body language. I mean, we saw it all. It's not a thing really to discuss so much, but we know what happened. We are talking about when another president comes in, sit down with him, ask him, why did you do that? Why did you, and so on. And in that discussion, you will learn. You may not get everything, but there are other things that you will learn. We saw the other day the vice president in parliament says, no, we haven't done anything since we have come to power because we have been paying for the projects that PF left. It is there on a clip. I laugh. This is like children playing. Because truly speaking, you can't. It's like you didn't have a plan. So nikangenamo
Speaking of plans, Mr. Nyirenda, let's get to your plan.
Yes.
How do you plan to address the rising cost of living in Zambia, particularly for low-income households?
So let me. That's what I started talking. The high cost of living or the unbearable cost of living is coming from somewhere. there is no creation of wealth here. And I will perhaps not even let go. We say, us in our party, Zambia is for Zambians, and only Zambians will develop this country. No one will develop this country apart from a Zambian. Is a Zambian given the tools to develop? No, Zambian is not. I will go back. Let me start from a compound again. In a compound, go in a compound there. Zambians have nothing. The people having to my shops to Ntemba, what and what, they are all foreigners. Mu compound muja, whether waenda Muchibolya or waenda Kokanyama kuliko sikano waenda. Upeza apa wendepo ato is from Uganda, apa wendepo from Rwanda, there wendepo and so on and so. Some with legible papers and majority without legible papers. Now the problem is that we don't hate them, we want to live with them, but they form cartels. Wamapanga cartel, wazipangira ma business, wazipushinga veka, mazambia zivali pansi. Nachoka polekani nyamukeko pangono. Nibwere kuma a bit up, look like Kamala and things like that. You have now the new master who is a Chinese and an Indian. Our fellow, some of them are Zambian, some of them not. But they have also formed cartels. They have taken over. They are the ones who are getting now all these to my contracts and things like that, shunning the Zambians. I can even go further to now like the malls and so on and industries. A Zambian doesn't have anything. A Zambian doesn't control the bank. A Zambian doesn't control the large farms. The Zambian doesn't control the mines. The Zambian doesn't control all the big portions of land.
What's your solution, Mr. Nyirenda?
That's where I'm coming from. My solution is simple. We will make a Zambian a millionaire in this country.
How?
First of all, just a simple thing. Just even that pen that you're holding. If we are going to say this pen that we are using here in Zambia is going to be made by a Zambian who lives in Chipata. All pens, you cannot buy any pen from somewhere. You cannot import any pen without this guy. That guy will become a billionaire from that pen. We are going to say, okay, the person who makes buttons is coming from Shangombo. All buttons that are sold in this country, they will be purchased from that man and no one else. These are things. I want to give you an example. For example, our friends, if you want to go and invest in German today, you are going to invest in Mercedes-Benz, which is owned by German, Siemens by him, and so on and so on. They say, come. But what are we doing here? I heard our president the other day saying, oh, I didn't have time to talk to the Zambian businessmen because I spent all my time talking to the foreign investors at what direct investment program. That is fatal. Anybody who comes from outside doesn't come to do good for us, especially in Africa. They want to surf on and take it there. The Japanese are going to France to finance, to invest $250 million. They come here to come and invest $200 million. And we are there, we sit, we have been happy. We want a Zambian who control the mines, a Zambian who control the farms, a Zambian who control all banks. The Zambian, because once a Zambian becomes a millionaire in this country, he will create other businesses that are going to employ people.
Okay, Mr. I want to find out from you, just on that, it sounds very good on the ear to say, let's put Zambia first, let Zambians do everything and have them run all these sectors of our economy.
Yes.
But let's get practical here.
Yes.
These ventures, the same pen that you gave an example,
yes,
it needs money to be manufactured.
Okay, simple.
Where would the financing come from for those people that are in the manufacturing sector?
Very simple.
Where would the money come from for the people that you give these mines to? How would they run these mines? The people in agriculture, where would the money come from, Mr. Nyirenda?
Very simple. You have, I'll pick healthy. You have got, is it 38 billion that you have pushed in healthy? That is at 8 billion. You want to buy medicine, right? You want to buy machinery and things like that. Who have you given it? You've given it to an Indian. It's not given to a Zambian. If a Zambian got that 38 billion to be the one to supply, he will have the money to develop more. You took 600 million and gave the Chinese to do the road. Why didn't you give a Zambian to say do it? Now, even let me look even at the 20% pre-retirement package that was announced by the president, which basically by 2023, I think something like over 100 million was given out. Now, if that 100 million was invested in Zambians to do the farming, those guys would have gotten more money, profits. Each one would have 20% a share on that company directly from his money. So, me, what I'm saying, this government was too much in sleeping, 20 years in opposition, doing nothing, no dream, and so on and so on. As I said before, when we were campaigning 2020, I said UPND was running the country together with the PF because they had also equally close to 30% of the constituencies, districts, and so on they were controlling. And they did nothing. How do you trust these guys that when they come to power they will do? It has shown. Me, I've stayed 2 years or 3 years in hibernation doing research and everything because I wanted also to give them time. These guys have done nothing. There's no project. Transport is catastrophe. What? Name it. Everything is catastrophe.
I'll ask you again, is it true to also say they have done nothing? There's nothing that the UPND has done since 2021.
Do you think that telling the cadres to sit down to stop, that's doing anything? Me, I don't see what they've done. Do you think really that taking CDF from 20 million to 33 million is doing that? When I go to power, I can just tell the people, I'll give you 100 million, and everybody will be clapping. They won't even ask me, where are you going to get the 20 million?
So for you, there's nothing that you can write on paper to say this is progressive and it's good for the country in the 4 years they've been in office?
Lekani kambeko chinyanja pangono.
Mzikom.
Yes, ngati wadya nshava imozi niyolula zonse mzazifwita. But anyway, there is nothing completely from all the promises that he made, which he has made. CDF was not one of his promises. 20% from NAPSA was not part and parcel of his promises. He promised us to keep, it was $13 when he was coming. He promised us to drop it down. It's now more than double. He promised us...
But it was part of his campaign, though, the 20% retirement. He did speak to
that
allowing Zambians to access their pensions. And he spoke to that during his campaign.
You know what? In fact, that is a wrong thing altogether. It's wrong. It hasn't brought anything. If that was the right thing, we are going not to be suffering now. Look at energy. You are having... Me, I'm an engineer. Zambia can have 0% road shedding. 0%. Not even a second. If people do the right thing. But if people don't do the right thing, they take money and throw it somewhere else. You had asked me, where are you going to get the money? This is like this budget has got 217 billion. This 217 billion is there for the government to spend. But if you spend it in the wrong areas, you will not achieve anything. The money is there. And they need also to create. This is why I said I went down to say, look, from the income that they are looking at is tax and mining. And mining even, it's 4%. Mining should give us, today in Zambia, should give us more than 50% to run the country. But it's below. Where are we going to get the money from? This thinking is wrong.
When you say it's below, what do you mean? Because last year we recorded an increase in our outputs of copper. Over 100,000 metric tons increment in our output last year than we did the previous year.
If I tell you when PF was there, the PF they hit 900 metric tons per year. When they took over, these guys, they dropped even to ours between 600 and 700. So they haven't even reached where PF was. So why would you see? My friend was there. He was hitting 10. I come inside, I start hitting 8.
Are you ignoring the fact that 2 mines were closed? One of our biggest mines, Mopani and KCM?
They were closed in PF.
Yes.
Yes,
so
but
are we going to ignore the fact that there was a reason why our output had depreciated, to say?
No, but in PF the output was higher than in UPND 2022, 2023. If you check, it's there. The information is there. PF hit higher than the UPND. That is fact. Now, if they start going up again, you can't say now I'm doing better. You are not still doing better.
They have a very ambitious plan of having 3 million production of 3 million metric tons in 10 years. Do you think that they'll achieve it now that we've started seeing an upward trajectory in the output?
How are they going to do it? How? The solution here is to give all this to the Zambians. By the way, I've done my research. I've moved down. I've checked in all these areas. Zambia is losing billions or trillions and trillions every day in the mining sector.
How are we doing that?
First of all, the licensing. A lot of people who are mining outside there, they don't have a full license. They have what they call, when you start looking for,
exploration license,
yeah. And they start mining, and this is with the knowledge of Ministry of Mining. They know, and they let it. And when you go deeper, everywhere, I've moved and I've seen the people who are mining there. It's illegal mining. Everybody knows. They mine, and these are foreigners. They are Senegalese, Mali, Indians, Russians, Lebanese. They are the people who are collecting this gold, and the gold is going out every day. If we were managing this country, believe you me, our kwacha would be nicely backed by gold, and it wouldn't be fluctuating the way it is. They are doing nothing. They have let it. It is sad. And me, in these past 2 years, I've seen it. I've gone everywhere. I've gone even to an area where I want to enter. A Russian stands in front, and a Zambian policeman is guarding him. They are telling me, here you can't enter. I can't enter? I said, I will enter. And I entered. Do what you want. You, Zambian police, you shoot me. This is my land. I entered. What I saw inside there, it is terrible. But Zambians go there to collect money. Officers go there to collect money.
What is this place you speak of, Mr. Nyirenda?
They are all over. Go to Mumbai, you see. Go to Lufunza, you see. Go to Northern Province.
Are these mining sites that are being manned by foreign nationals and guarded by Zambia Police Service?
Yes.
Illegal mining sites.
Well, some are illegal. Some are not illegal because perhaps someone who is good authority has allowed them to do. And in fact, they are allowed to do by people, dubiously, by people who have got authority. Don't tell me that the system doesn't know. The system knows. You know, the number one person in this country gets all this information on his table. You can't tell me that he doesn't know. He knows. And why do they leave it? Why do we want to impoverish our Zambian people? They are suffering. They don't know. And then you want to tell them, oh, and then 50 kwacha per the whole day.
So from what you know,
for cash.
So from what you know, how will you clean this up? This
Very
mess
simple.
In the way you put it, this mess in the mining sector. You've gone around, you've seen it.
I wished you invited me. You invited me to spend 1 or 2 hours just to talk about our mining policy and how we are going to do it as it is in our manifesto. You see, if you don't know the thing, leave it. Don't try to tamper with things that you don't know. If they don't know how to do it, they should leave it. Let them go and consult somebody who will tell them, and then they can do it right. It's sad. It's sad. You know. I know you are speaking for the people outside there. You are asking for the people outside there. We should not be suffering in this country. If our mining sector was done properly, we should not be suffering in this country. If our land was done or was used properly. As I'm talking to land, I can even deviate a bit. You have seen that land is being sold everywhere in Zambia. You've seen. The country Zambia, the government, has never sold land to anyone. It is giving land for the purpose. They will just tell you, you pay the service charges and so on and so on. But who is selling that land? Why is the state and its system allowing people who have never paid for that land to sell and become billionaires and rich, and most of them, they are foreigners? How does it happen? This is the chaos that this current president and his party is the worst government that we have ever had. There is chaos. They could have sorted the problem on the street, on the market, that there's no cadre. But there is cadreism in the economy. The economy is being destroyed because there's cadreism. We are talking about fighting corruption. There's no fighting corruption by this government. If I say vindicting the former regime or people who are against me is fighting corruption, then it's their definition. This government, myself, any other leader there who means good for Zambia, whether opposition or not, we should team together and create wealth and also fight corruption together, not fighting each other. That is wrong. It's well gone.
I want to take you back to the mining. You said you divert a little bit and speak about land administration and what's happening there.
Yes.
Again, I'll ask you this. Just give us a hint of the policy direction that you are going to have to clean up the mining and what's going on.
So, first of all, when I say certain things, people may not understand in that context the way it is. For me, number one, if you don't understand something, stop it until you understand it. If there is chaos all over, you close that chaos temporarily. You say, okay, I'm going to close this chaos for the next 6 months, and we'll find a better solution. And in our manifesto, go and read it. I will avail you a copy. We will, first of all, for a period, stop all this sorry to say, nonsense that is going on in the mining. Be able to look for the Zambians who are going to deal with gold. Be able to look for Zambians who are going to deal with the cobalt, who understand these things very well. Be able to look for Zambians who can make batteries by extracting whatever. And then we will be able in the mining sector to say, okay, we know. If there's any gold here, we know. Mr. Sakala is the one that is dealing with gold. Mr. Mlenga is the one that is dealing with the cobalt, and so on. Now, these people, whether they are agents or they are working in the government or part and parcel of the government, they have to report what their projection is and what they have achieved and how it is going to benefit the state. Simple as all that.
All right, in case you're just joining us, on the hot seat this morning, we have Muntu Party President, Mr. Stephen Nyirenda is joining us on the hot seat. We'll be opening up the phone lines shortly in the next 10 minutes for you to be part of this conversation so that you can ask him any of your questions that you have regarding the conversation that we're having. Earlier on, you said you had the capacity to get our load shedding to 0 hours.
Yes.
Let's get to the energy crisis that we're facing. We've tested drought and the reservoirs, we used up a lot of water.
Yes, because
we don't have enough water.
No, that is not true.
We never had enough water. According to official statements, let me just finish my question.
Okay,
we never had enough water to generate the amount of electricity that we can generate. Now that we've had rains, we've seen a slight improvement in the hours of load shedding. But what are your solutions here? What are we looking at?
First of all, we are using hydropower. Over 80% of our electricity comes from hydropower. Where is the hydropower? It is in the southern province, between we know, it's in Siavonga. That hydropower was built by a white man. That hydropower was built to benefit a white man who was living in Harare, Salisbury that time. Our mines, the heart of our industry is on the copper belt. Surely, why do you want to build a hydropower which is needed in the heart there by the industry? You want to build it 600, 700 kilometers away? Does it make sense? And then you build it where there's no water. The water bodies, a lot of water in our country is in the northern province, is in Luapula, northern province, Muchinga, northwestern. So if I put a hydropower there, I will have water throughout. We have stopped thinking. The same way somebody was saying PF had stopped thinking, we had stopped thinking. Just recently, there were billions and billions of dollars put in this hydropower in Kariba to rehabilitate it. If somebody was doing the right thing, you should have put a hydropower in the northern province. Things would be different. But let me go deeper.
Okay.
Here, we are using 80% hydropower. The industrialized countries, the so-called rich countries, whether it's Europe, Japan, China, America, they are using 70%. With the Emirates, they are using 99% of fossil energy, which is burning coal, burning gas, burning everything that you can burn. Anything that was growing, which you can burn. Now, here in Zambia, we have enough fossil material that we can use to burn and create thermal energy. You see, we have coal abundant. We have wood abundant. We have so many other things. Now, I like saying this, I'll say it. In the 2006, 2007, up to 8, we put a consortium because the Amamba mines were being sold. We put a consortium. In that consortium, we put very clear, that document is still there, how we are going to push the fossil energy to 50% in this country, to what Zambia needs. How we are going to make sure that we start making briquettes. Instead of people cutting the trees, they will use brown coal. Brown coal is when you are going deeper there, on top there's a layer of coal which is not so good, but it's very good for burning. That's the one that you use to burn to do electricity. You use it for cooking and so on and so on. We put it there. Who did they give? We had miners, we had the lawyers, we had the bankers, we had the engineers. All the consortium came together. President Manawasa took that thing and gave it to the Indian who have it up to today. What are they giving the Indians? What are they giving us? Nothing. By this time, we are going to have 50% of fossil energy in electricity, which would have brought our load shedding to zero. Whether there is water, no water. You pump up the fossil. When the water is more, you drop down the fossil, you pump up the hydropower. All those things. And for us, believe you me, that's why we say Zambia is for Zambians, and only Zambians will develop this country. Because the Zambian has got this country at heart. He will provide a solution. When you are getting those guys that you say we are trying to put for a direct investment, those guys, they come here, they are looking at profit. They are not looking at giving you back. You saw also, I don't know, but you can recall, the copper belt. The copper belt was clean, had spots, has everything. It was, when you go to the copper belt in those early 90s or late 80s, it was like heaven. We had all these escalators in those days when nobody had in this country, because the mines were done by Zambians and the money remained into this country. In the agriculture sector, the same. But we have, and unfortunately, the unfortunate part is that the current president and the other presidents, inclusive of me, we know this. We have enjoyed it. Why can't we give the Zambians what we had? I was saying the other day, as when we went to school, the maximum in class were 24, 25. Above 25, they would not take, they said it's full. Today we have 120, 200 in class. Why can't we give the people what we enjoyed? We were at this University of Zambia. We were being fed what everything was there. I don't know. But why can't we, our generation, Lungu's generation, HH's generation, my generation, why can we not still give these people what we know is the right thing? As we are going away, the other people that are coming behind, they will think this is the norm. It's not the norm. The whole of this is abnormal.
Mr. Nyirenda, before we open the phone lines, what are your party's goals and aspirations for the 2026 general elections? And how do you plan to, go ahead and get into those elections and be victorious?
First of all, in May, June, we are going to have a convention. Once we do that convention of ours, you will see our what Zambia has never seen before in terms of our strategies to go into leadership in this country. That we're going to do. And the main thing for us, Zambia is for Zambians. It is time for the Zambian people to reclaim their wealth into their own hands and do their own thing. When you look at this budget, there is, I think it's 2 to 4%. It's written there, it's written grant. You are making a budget, you want to go. As I said before, in fact, almost 2 years when I was launching this party, I said, we are going to do away with aid. There is not going to be any aid. And you have seen now, before even it's too late, before we even reach there, aid has been cut off. We don't want aid. We want to do it ourselves because we have everything. So give a Zambian, promote a Zambian, empower the Zambian, and protect him. And let him emerge victorious in the economy. Bring up creative ideas that are going to make money in this country. That is not a problem. But if you sit dormant, you think you know it all, you think you are the only person who can do it, others can't. Look at this government. Have you heard any minister talking? If your minister talks, he will get fired. It's only one man talking on top. The rest are silenced. So how does he get the country to run? As I said the other day, I said, as it says, the kingdom of God is not for one man, is for men, all men, whether blue, black, and so on. So if you yourself, you want to sit there and think you can do everything alone, it will not work at all. And we have seen it's not working. And we've seen the suffering that we're having. Ours, Zambians, whether you are opposition, no opposition, what and what, all of us as Zambians, we should take this country up and do it together.
All right. In case you're just joining us, we have Muntu Party President, Mr. Stephen Nyirenda, joining us on the hot seat. If you have any questions or contribution, it's now time for you to take part. You can leave us a comment on our Facebook Live link, or you can call us now on 0950-955-877, 0974-870-877. Those lines will get you through to the hot seat this morning. Do call us now if you want to get involved with the program.
You're listening to the hot seat on Hot FM 87.7. It's time for you to call now and get involved. Call now and get involved.
All right, it's 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877. Those lines get you through to the hot seat. Call us now if you have any questions or contributions to the conversation we're having here with Mr. Stephen Nyirenda. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nyirenda.
Good morning. How are you again?
Dr. Proud.
Yes.
Right now I'm in Maken. We are listening. I've get a phone call from Secretariat, including Moderator, and our President is also listening through Ngoma. Whatever you are saying, you can end the road shedding as a country. Government is trying with no cost. That's why they are bringing wind, solar, what not to rely on the water. Right now, including the media, there is so many radios which are being given a license to run is more like to employ people. Because if you open the radio station, no matter the shading, it says August. I was in intercession from there's no water in intercession. That's why you will see this is so struggling. Including our Republican president, he told us during the rally in Uda says, Komboka, they struggle. paddling. Because you know what? That's why now they are going to shift to bring wind, solar. 2 months from now, they are going to launch this solar, which is being done in December. You are going to see road shedding reduced. So your opposition offer what 20 people you hold the Harikarava. The way we used to be foreign affairs, which industry is so broad. If you host Nakajinda, tell me used to be means of water, which means water did you create than only to say I'm going to come to power. Which industry did you brought when he was the Minister of Justice at the Kawata MOP? All those are issues. President Hagani was that user. He wanted to open all those horses to make sure good students are kicked nicely. That's the students when they are going to finish to use their own education to develop the country. Than only to insult you candies. You candies not
Dr. Proud, we've given you enough time to get your point across.
20 million Zambians.
Thank you for your contribution. We'll give Mr. Nyirenda a chance to respond to you. It's 0974-870-877. It's 0950-955-877. Let's hear what you have to say. Good morning.
Good morning, PZ.
Morning to you. What's your name?
This is Peter. Good morning, Mr. Nyirenda.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Peter?
Fine, thank you.
What's your question or contribution?
Yes, thank you very much. I think I wanted to agree with what Mr. Nyirenda said. What I've noticed in this government is that the president has taken all the ministries to State House. Why I'm saying this, if an investor comes in Zambia, what we are seeing is those investors are taken to State House. I'll give you an example. If an investor comes and then he wants to talk about mining, the Minister of Mines is supposed to be seen with those investors discussing. But what is happening now is that this investor comes, he wants to come and talk about energy. Those investors are taken to State House. I think this is not the way we're supposed to run the country. So let the president, I think, give the ministers chance to do what they're supposed to do. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. It's 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877, 0967-877-447. Those lines get you through to the hot seat. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
Fortune.
Mr. Fortune, please hold your phone properly so that we hear you. Okay, I'll ask you to call back, Mr. Fortune, because we can barely hear you. Your line is breaking. It's 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Mr. Mwenda.
Mr. Mwenda?
Yes, calling you in the Saka.
All right, Mr. Mwenda, we have Mr. Nyirenda in studio, the Muntu Party president. What's your question or contribution for him?
Yes, my contribution is, Mr. Nyirenda, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Mwenda?
Oh, fine, sir. I like the way you are coming up to be realistic with this government UPND. UPND is a failure. Why are we saying it's a failure? You look at the cost of living. Then you look at the electricity, the way you have said it. You see? They are selling electricity to Namibia and these other countries. Namibia recently they were appreciating that we appreciate Zambia for giving us electricity. But us here, the only people are suffering here. Like here in Chazanga where I am, electricity only comes at 23 hours. Zero point it goes. In Chazanga area, 23 hours, 0 point it goes. What can you do? These small industries, you cannot thrive because of electricity. But in Namibia, they are telling us that in Zambia, they are always having electricity there in Namibia. So now, whatever this president will do about, I mean, as I said, my election, because of election, and that would depend for 4 years. 4 years, I mean, are ruling a country. Those this guy is a truth. What he wants is just want to move voted in 2026. But some Zambians are Sarapu commanded. tisira chifatana election. So tizamudiringa, but we make sure that this man will fail completely. We are tired with him.
Mr. Nyirenda, thank you for your contribution. Let's allow Mr. Nyirenda to respond to your contributions.
Okay. So mostly it's about power. Thank you. Let me start with the Mr. Proud. You are campaigning for UPND. I understand there should be some people also for UPND. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten where they are. Now, you need to understand. If you talk about these things, energy and things like that, fortunately for me, I'm very well vested in what I'm talking about. I let the people outside there judge for themselves. If the solar energy was so effective and everything was so as good as they are telling us to do, why doesn't the Emirates, these people in Dubai, why are they using 99, almost 100% fossil energy when they have got a lot of desert where they can put solar? Question. Second, why are the developed countries using 70% of fossil, very little of wind and solar, and they are telling us to use solar? Solar is very expensive. We can't maintain it. You need the batteries. And even once you have the batteries have got a very simple, very small lifetime. You need to keep on putting them back and so on and so on. People need to understand, don't just because a guy from United Nations or what he comes and tells you that, and this is why we have been brainwashed, and today we are suffering, we are hungry, because we threw away our seed, threw away our own stuff, following a guy who comes from the United Nations, who comes from developed countries. They know how to manipulate us. They know, and we follow it. As I said before, he, the same white man, he built the hydropower in the southern part of Zambia, knowing very well there's no water there. Why didn't he build it in Luapula, which is near the equator and is raining abundantly there? Let's think for ourselves. Let's think as Zambians and do things according to the resources we have in our country, not according to what a small boy who has graduated today comes from United Nations. He is allowed to go and see the president and he tells these things to the president and the president gets it. It's fatal. Let the experts meet these people and we will tell them where they belong. That is Mr. Proud. Please get educated. Mr. Proud, ni mwagu garden, ni you are my neighbor. You come, I will educate you a bit. Yes, Mr. Peter talked about, of course, let the Zambians, let the cabinet ministers, let the MPs, let the parliament come up with a solution for us. You can't have things that are, we have seen even things are imposed from State House, imposed to the parliament. Where the parliament is supposed to rectify certain things, they are being jumped. How? You know, we've seen it. We've seen these scandals. We've seen people now are being given all these contracts and so on without following the procedures. We have right up now the energy problem. You take fuel, you give to one guy without actually following the procedure. This guy is the guy who is getting fuel into the country and he's got his own cost. You don't know the cost that he has. You impose it on your people. Please, let's allow the Zambians, let's allow the cabinet, let's allow people to come up with solutions that are good for our country.
All right. Give us a call, 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
Mishek.
All right, Mishek, please go ahead.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Nyirenda.
Thank you, Mr. Mishek Mulibanji.
Bueno. You know, the matters of the nation should be taken seriously. I just want to talk on the mines and the minerals. There is a situation whereby Zambians, they find God. The president went there and stand on the anthill and they say, I'm going to bring investors. Who did not find the God? Then where is the heart for the Zambians? Thank you.
All right, Mishak, thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. It's 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
This is King Fred. Good morning, Mr. Nyirenda there.
Good morning, sir. The name was?
King Fred.
Yeah, Mr. Nyirenda, I'm disappointed. The government is according as a coward the people who love Edgar Chagolongo. But the question I'm asking to the government, I want to clarification. Valanda Kurati, when Muntunga no president of Ramo British, no president was funny. Wafide Vare Koko Forest, Firava Star, Edgar Chagolongo. But in which capacity? Never see Mumba, Riva Papelo, Nanika, Daddy Quatex, new MMD president. Now, I'm vice president, Kazindere Katushini, Ariva Papelo. Number in which capacity Valava Forest. At the same time, Mr. Nyirenda, only a fool or a coward can support Valeko now with the over now with us. So later, Edgar Chagolongo with 30 other relations, you have to know that you for UPND. And Edgar Chagolongo was written a letter to HS Security. If you want me to stay away from politics, bring back my party, which you stolen, but not until now Tavalasha responded. So today, Papa Sana Kuru take off for the Tunguranga to Alanda, just bitter. In another quarter, Baba Pano. Throughout here, on Sakwana, Satara Munapama, like Yakaswayasa, Ubushiku. Lombacharo Chasha, Nacho Munde, Kaloku, without power, Uvunga, Waditula. The only way Edgar Chagolongo can stay away from politics, Kamuvabo show, Vunga, Padi, Clutch or the Party 1 set. Now, Nachiram Karipa country, after you let you lay Tom Matrishi Quataya, and then you expect him just to say, that's not fair. That's not fair. But monitor for President Muleumpa. Whatever President,
I've given you enough time to get your point across. Thank you very much. Thank you. 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877. Call us now. We'd like to hear from you. Mr. Nyirenda is here to tackle your issues based off the conversations that we've had. So if you have a question for him or anything related to his party, which is his president of the Muntu Party. So if you have any of those questions, please do call us up now. We'd like to hear your submissions. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
My name is Kelvin.
Kelvin, please, if the phone is on speaker, get it off speaker. We can barely hear you.
Speak.
Hey, Kelvin. Kambisa kwa maningi. Steam vera vana ukamba. Kambisa kwa maningi so atikumvere.
Oh. Maukabaji wa Nyirenda.
Bueno, Kevin. Kamba ndivere.
Nasi tikambia kwa mndana. So na wa UPND wakangi wa. Kami mkamba so ma-investor moja mwenye wabuya ni ma-foreigners hapa. Bali muna mzangi ya mpeze katika na mabionea mndana. Wakangi wako hapa. Mamaini. Ka. So kata hapa kate mabili no more straight forward wa mpaka. Kuna mabilioni ya mndara uteko tunga cheveka wakuja cheveka ndarama. Atimuti sana ukabana kumalaiti mndara hapo ya 20 yapo ya 04 ya N every day ungatalaza bandi. Kwa chini cha tumda. Wakaja na bozani yo wakambati ai maembekeza ati nakasakile ya ili muna mzambi ya mwezi kumbia te zinkuwa zote itaje mapoene za chasa ife kunichindana na kilo wamena kilo kuti festiza vili wote ya mimi wazi mapoene za chasa ndara bauze mazona wao bauze ni mwanzo wasi yako wakili zile ndio ndara baziwe kwa hapa wewe waenda wakimutisa manini ndara cha
Kelvin Zikom. Your response to those callers?
Well, yes, basically, I was at Mishak, he's echoing Zambians for Zambians. You can't find mines. Mwapeza mamaini, Zambians walipo. Then that niendo utenga mafi investors. Wendo wacho chosa kuti. That syndrome. If I've got inferior complex, doesn't mean everybody is like that. If I cannot make it, doesn't mean other people cannot make it. Zambians should come together and make it. Get the experts, Zambian experts, put them there. And believe you me, this country, given to Zambians, you will see what will come out of this country. And that's what you are going to do. Number one, all these contracts, if I'm talking about 217 billion kwacha, That money is for running. And when you are running, you give contracts to companies to do it, right? If that 200 billion kwacha, just 50% was given to the Zambians to do the jobs in a proper manner, you would see what would be in this country. But we are giving this to the Chinese. We even took taxpayers' money from NAPSA. You take 600 million, you give to a foreigner, and you even give him the boots and things like that. Aya manjira misewu itingazipangire teka. Tinaenda kuskulu tinapunzila. Bwino. And believe you me, I will tell you this. Most Zambians who have gone out of this country, even here, in each class where they were, they always came number one. Most of them that I know. When they come here, they are denied. Nichoka pano ndine president nikwera ndeke nienda ku Asia kwenda ukamba na investor na siya Mzambian alinkali hapa who is much more intelligent. Mwamuleta uja investor abwera achita employ muntu wamene mwasiya uyu. Yeve atenga vindarama aenda navo. Ndiye vichitika mno mchalo. We are seeing it every day. Every day it's happening. And it is because vaja vamene vali responsible kapena nzeru nzoperevera. Then Pero, that was very, I never thought like that. This King Fred, he says President Nevers is the president of MMD. He's active politics. Why is he on Pero? Others as well. Kavindele and is it the major? What position he had? They are on payroll. I never thought in that direction, but perhaps we can research and find out what is happening. Perhaps he's right. Perhaps because they are supporting him. I don't know. Kevin basically was commending Zambians for Zambians. Let's give the Zambians the tools to do the right thing in this country. And as we are talking like that, you've seen our town, the way the town looks. Most of those buildings in the town center, they belong to the Zambian Indian origin. Kamwala the same. This, they can't even do anything. You've seen they have been suffering money from me for over 60 years. Since 1964, they have those. But have you seen the way the town looks like? If the Zambians were the ones owning those buildings, it was going to be something different. But they are taking money, sending it to India, sending to England, sending to Canada, because that's where their bases are. They are my friends. I have nothing against them. But anybody who is not doing the right thing in this country of mine, I'm against him.
All right, call us now. It's 0974-870-877. It's 0950-955-877. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning to you. What's your name?
Abraham.
Abraham, please go ahead with your question or contribution. We have Mr. Nyirenda in studio.
Yes. Mr. Nyirenda, you must try farming. You cannot be president here. Why? Because even your children cannot vote for you. HH has worked. The only problem I have with HH is there was no rain. If we had rain, then the Simukamba no Kamba. What are you telling us? HH has, if you can't see what HH has done, then you are not a good leader. Because a good leader would tell that here they've done well, here they've done well, but you have said nothing. You can even compare to Imomonzonkala 25 in class when we were 3 million. We are now over 20 million. You want to be saying, me, I started school in 1966, was sitting 40 pupils in a class. But you, I don't know where you were saying 25. Tell the truth, and the truth will set you free. Not more it's not easy.
Abraham,
you can rule this country.
Is that your point? We'll give Mr. Nyirenda a chance to respond to you. Thank you. It's 0974-870-877, 0950-955-877. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Good. How are you doing? What's your name?
I'm fine, thank you. You are speaking to Siam according to Musaka.
All right, Mr. Siame, we have Mr. Nyirenda in studio. Go ahead with your question.
Thank you so much. Mr. Nyirenda, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Siame. Mulibanje?
How is it going kudala mudala mwe?
Zikoma.
Yeah, well. First of all, don't be intimidated by anyone. As long as you are a Zambian, you can become a president in this country. Okay? And Mr. Nyirenda, you are speaking so well. Because there are a lot of things which we have discussed where if this government, they are serious with what they want to do to this country, they should go get one or two. Okay? But looking at them, even in the response, you can even tell that they are not willing to listen and to get what you are saying there. This is why they have failed to run this country. Because they say that your opposition should offer checks and balance. That is the checks and balance you are doing there. Now, if they cannot get anything from what you are saying, then it means that they are not fit to run the country. Because when you look at the mines in this country, what is it that we Zambians are benefiting from the mines? Since they took back this mine to Vendetta, what is it that we have benefited so far? Look where the dollar is to the Kwacha. If indeed these mines are working, why is it that Kwacha has failed to appreciate? Because by this time, from the time we gave out this mine, this time Kwacha could have been in 20 Kwacha somewhere there, or 20 or 15 or 18 somewhere there. But the economic indicators, they are showing that what they have done, it is nothing. It is much better when this mine were gotten and belong to the Zambian people. And my last point in conclusion, what plans do you have for this mine? Are you going also to look for investors, or you bring back this mine like other countries are doing, such like Burkina Faso? We heard recently Namibia, Botswana, about 50-50. So those are the things we want to hear from you politicians. What is it that you are going to do to this mine for you to revamp it to the levels where Zambian will appreciate to say, okay, we can have free taxi. Right now, Zambian people, they are paying taxes to ZESCO. Removing tax holidays to the mines, you go and put the taxes to electricity. What is that? Thank you so much. We are listening. I'm waiting for your response, Mr. Nyirenda.
All right, thank you, Mr. Siame. Please go ahead, Mr. Nyirenda.
So, first of all, Abraham, kapena naenda kuskulu 1966. Me, I'm telling you, I was still we were 25 in a class. But anyway, to answer his stuff is very easy. When you are single, you are alone. You buy, perhaps you eat very small, you get married, you buy kaunga kangono, you plan. You get 2 children, you plan, you buy more. You get 3 children, you buy more. Similarly, in 2064, we were 3.5 million. There was no much. So as the planning is, even now we know that perhaps in 10 years or 20 years now, the way we are going to be 40 million. So the plan for the state, the top, the leadership, they need to plan to know, how am I going to feed the 40 million people in 10 years? Using the resources, how is the future going to be? That's where now you get dynamic, young, powerful people, leaders, and put them there. Don't sit there as a minister. Kapena will live 60, 70. You want still to be sitting there. Let the young guys do it. Mr. Siame, our plan, Montu Party plan for the mines. First of all, let me talk about what people are calling royalties. Royalty does not mean that utenga chija chintu ni chako. Royalty ni kuchiyuzi ngako chabe. Royalty with us is going to be just that you are able to come inside here and dig. And once you've dug that thing is mine. That's when now I'll tell you how we are going to share. If you are coming from outside, if you are from Zambia, it is Zambian. And truly speaking, the first thing that we are going to do ourselves, we are going to make sure that all this gold that we have, we pile it in this country. And this gold is going to back our kwacha. Then, like the Emirates, they are saying their dirham has been $7 to $1 for the past 50 years or so, because it's backed with their oil. Ours is going to be backed by God. So we tell them, okay, our kwacha is 1 to 10 or 1 to 1. Do what you want to do. We have the gold, which we can release if we have problems. Right up now, this is, perhaps I didn't even finish in the economy. Right up now, there's a problem. These guys have got a problem in their fiscal policies and also monetary policies. If their monetary policies, the kwacha were good, the kwacha wouldn't be so volatile. It goes kwa mene yenda mpeza muntu lero abwele sandalama yaenda pamwamba yagwa, and thugs are using it. The fiscal policies that they have, they are favoring foreigners. Literally sure. Would we be having this hunger, this poverty, no energy, when we are so rich? The question here is simple. Management of the leadership. The leadership has got no proper management. Since UPND came to power, there's no project that I can say, okay, that project, after 10 years or 20 years, we are going to be okay. That's what I've been looking for. And this is why you asked me at the beginning, they have done nothing? Yes, they have done nothing. Because ours, immediately we go there, we'll bring a 10, 20-year project. You cannot be having, the trucks, the railway trucks. Yaoneka monga niaje 1940. Yaja mabuku ya maintenance or punzi la physics, when the heat comes, vibenda. That's what is here. Surely, honestly, it can't be. Munkaona ma roads. I mean, no, guys, no. Okay, if you want to bring those investors, tell them making Janji, use your own money and so on and so on. Don't take our money, our hard-earned money, you give him to come and do it. When we have the knowledge, we can do it ourselves. So, Mr. Siame, Zambia is for Zambians. Royalties, we will charge them, and on top of that, we'll get the minerals, and we will want those minerals to be shared. Not only there, we won't end there. We will start with 20%. We will say, anything that you get from Zambia, 20% should be processed here. If you can't, leave. 20% to begin with, and then we will keep on going up. If 20% is processed here, that will create already jobs. They cannot be taking our copper like that. By the way, do you know that China has got more copper than Zambia? China has got more copper than Zambia. If you take the whole of China, why is China now taking all the copper away from us? Because they have already planned 50 years, 100 years from us. As we don't, we plan just tikachosa pambale taika mkamwa kwa sira niye planning yatu. That's why these guys, they don't have even a project. Let them name me one project that is going to take 5 years to say, okay, the next 5 years, once we are there, this is what will come out. There's nothing, not even a hunger.
Mr. Nyirenda, as we bring this to a close, there's a message that we got here from Mr. Moya. His name is Josta Moya. He says, good morning, PZ. Ask Mr. Nyirenda if he is not considering joining any of the alliances. If yes, which one between the Tonse Alliance or UKA Alliance? I'm Josta Moya from Lusaka.
So I will answer that. We will work with anyone who means well for this country. We are not, for us, really, we don't want to fight. We don't want to see anybody going down. We don't want to see somebody suffering. We don't want those people who have got ideas of vindicting others. We don't. And you are seeing it. We want to join hands. If UKA, Tonse, SP, citizens, face all of us, we mean well, and our ideas are good, we are going to join and work with them.
Mr. Nyirenda, I would like to thank you very much for coming through to the hot seat this morning.
Thank you so much. Zambia is for Zambians, only Zambians will develop it. Thank you so much.
All right, there you have it. That's our show for today. We had Muntu Party President, Mr. Stephen Nyirenda, join us on the hot seat this morning. Until next week, Tuesday, do join my colleagues either Hope Chishala or Chisha Mubambe on the hot seat on Tuesday right here on Hot. The heat is on.
That was the hot seat. Don't forget to join next week at the same time, exclusive to Hot 87.7.